lot has changed in the food industry over the last 3 decades, but a lot hasn't. In 1983, you could buy a candy bar for 35 cents. In 1983, a candy bar contained 2 cents worth of sugar. In 1983, farmers received 22 cents for every pound of raw sugar they produced. In 2013, that same candy bar cost $1.39, a 300% increase. But it still has just 2 pennies worth of sugar in it. 2 pennies. And raw sugar prices have dropped to 20 cents a pound. That's nearly a 10% price decrease for farmers. It doesn't take a mathematician to see who is making the money in this equation, but to hear lobbyists for large candy companies tell it, you'd think the exact opposite were true. Confectioners say U.S. sugar policy is driving up sugar prices and harming their profitability. They're lobbying Congress to gut U.S. sugar policy and outsource America's production to heavily subsidized foreign producers. Now, who would that help? These same companies are telling Wall Street a much different story. Terms like recession-proof have been used to describe candy's financial prowess. The head of the National Confectioners Association even bragged recently that his industry's profitability rivals that of the oil industry. Turns out he was right. Since the current sugar policy took hold in 2008, U.S. candy production has increased, company revenues have skyrocketed, and new factories have been built right here in America to keep up with demand. Just compare profits of candy companies to other industries. According to Yahoo Finance, the average net profit margin for confectioners is 35% higher than major oil companies, 49% higher than defense contractors, 137% higher than healthcare plans, and 270% higher than car manufacturers. Amazingly, candy even boasts higher profit margins than casinos. University of Maryland professor Alex Triantis was so intrigued by the profitability of sugar-using companies that he investigated further. Turns out the biggest producers of highly sweetened products saw a 45% increase in revenues from 2004 to 2012. That's 50% higher than the growth of the U.S. economy. Profit margins were 60% higher than the rest of the food processing industry. And share prices of those sugar-using companies increased 300% since 2000. Compare that to a flat S&P index. In other words, had you purchased $1,000 in candy stock in 2000, you would have $4,000 worth of stock today. Not a bad return during a recession. In fact, earnings have been supercharged since the current sugar policy took hold in 2008. That's because sugar prices have plummeted in recent years, while grocery shoppers are being charged more for candy, cookies, cakes, and other sweet treats. Hardly a tale of financial woe for candy executives. If anything, it underscores the success of U.S. sugar policy.